Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So yes, I'm in a weird angle, but it's okay. Ignore the watermark in the middle of my video, just letting you know. It's because I'm doing a free trial for this new video thing and I don't want to buy it yet, so that's why I'm using the trial. So this is story time. It's like a very weird, crazy story time about me and my best friend and her sisters, Jackie and Jasmine. So let's get this started. So when I was younger, I used to go to a lot of sleepovers with my best friend. And we're like, okay, we're gonna sleep over again, like always, as for usual. So I texted my dad and I was like, Dad, I want to go to a sleepover with Alice. And he was like, okay. So I texted her and I said, what are we gonna do? And she said, my sister has these tickets for a circus, so do you want to go to the circus? And we're like, okay. So I went to her house and my dad gave me a little bit of money and, to spend, for snacks and stuff like that. So I went there and her sister, Alice's sister, Jasmine, she had this big bag and it had snacks in there like hot Cheetos, and she made some sandwiches for all of us. Thank you so much. You're really cool. So she had waters and everything. And we're like, okay, this is going to be great. So we start walking out. And when I used to hang out with her all the time, she's in California right now, but when I used to hang out with her all the time, she would always we would always walk. We didn't have a ride. We would always walk. And that's what makes the story funner. And that's just That's the point of the story. She doesn't have a ride. So we were walking towards the bus stop and it was getting really hot. It was like the summer, so it was like really hot. And we're like, let's drink some water. So we drank the water and we ate some of the sandwiches while we were talking and walking because it's a long walk. And we ate the sandwiches that we're supposed to eat in the circus, but whatever. So we're like, okay, we're just talking and having fun and talking about her for our benefit or whatever. And then we go to the bus stop, and we wait, and it's like a long time. And then we finally get there, and we were almost there until Alice accidentally pressed that button that you press when you get out of the bus. So we got there earlier. So we got up earlier, and we had to walk. Thanks a lot, Alice. So we had to walk, and we made the walk, and her sister was like, why would you make us walk? Like, why would you do this to us? So we're enjoying the show and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, we're thirsty. Me and Alice are like, you know what? I mean, Alice and I, whatever, whatever suits your grammar. So Alice and I were thirsty, and we're like, what should we do? So Jasmine and I didn't have that much money, but we did combine our money and got a tiny little raspado. It was like a little shaved ice thing. So we shared it between the four of us. We're just like, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. And like we had to pass it on, but it had to be little sips because we didn't want to finish it. And our dumbasses decided to drink the waters while we were on our way there. So this is actually all our fault. So we were just drinking, and then we ate the hot Cheetos. We passed on her little bag because we couldn't smuggle food, which is so we were just in a little bag and we're just passing it on, and it was just hell. It was just hell because we were just like, we couldn't have our own snacks, and we had to like pass on the snacks from each other. There were four of us. So towards the end of the show, there were these two guys that were like swinging back and forth. You know how circus work. And Alice and I were like, those guys are hot. Alice was like, one for me and one for you. Which one are you gonna take? I'm like, that one. She's like, I'm taking that one. I'm like, I'll take that one thing now. So we were being girls, we were like, they're hot. So, and we decided, why don't we talk to them after the circus? They're not celebrities. They could just walk up to us. So we're like, okay, we're gonna get ready. We're getting all cute. We had like a little lip gloss, and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go talk to them. And towards the end of the show, we walked down because it's like a huge aisle thingy, whatever. If you guys live in Las Vegas, it's like a aisle, and then it's like the circus is like right in the center. So we walked down, and it took forever because we're all the way on the top. We walked down, and then we saw them, and they were old guys. They weren't even like I think from the screen they looked younger and cuter, but they were old guys and we're so disappointed. We're like, no. And then her sister was like, okay, we gonna miss the bus, so let's go. So we run and run and run and run and run and run, and we all run, the four of us, run as fast as we could, like if someone was chasing us, and we missed our bus. As soon as we got out, we were like 5 seconds away, and the bus just bye-bye. So everyone was looking at us, Alice and Jasmine and everyone. We were just looking at each other like, oh man. So what we decided to do was, we were like, let's call for a ride then. Let's just call for a ride. So we called everyone we knew and nobody answered. Ugh, some friends I have. So we called everyone, no one answered, no one wanted to give us a ride. I mean, I could have called my parents, but who would do that? Yeah, I should have. So it was like around 11 in the night, and we were just like lost. We were like walking around like 500 times, we were like 10 circles. And then we saw the bus, another bus, and we were gonna get on it, but we missed that bus too. Her sister was furious with us. She was like, we missed 2 buses because you guys thought that those guys were hot. How could you guys? We got lectured. But then she went to this side and I went to this side with Alice, so we split up into groups and we're just looking for a ride or something, and both of our phones were almost dead. So we find one last contact, and I had 5% on my phone. Okay guys, so I'm on Cake. It's like a little messenger app, whatever. So I'm on Cake and I text, what's his face, let's call him something that won't be too obvious. Let's go Mike. I don't know, Mike just came into my head. So we texted Mike. We're like, Mike, we need you. We need a ride because we're stranded in the middle of the circus. We don't have a ride and I have 5% of my phone. Please come get us. Now let me tell you something about Mike. Let me tell you why this story is so interesting. Mike is Alice's not boyfriend, not ex, not friend. He is the guy she kisses and just, I wouldn't say friends benefits because they don't have sex, but they're like friends benefits because they do stuff, but they don't have sex. You get me? So they're just kind of messing around. This is why this story is so interesting. That guy is the guy that we messaged, and the reason why I had him on my Cake is because she had him on his Cake, you know? Now let me tell you a little background, because before we get to this part, when I saw him on Cake, I found out that he was a new guy at our school. So I was like, this guy is perfect for Alice. He kind of looks like her too. Not like her, but like his personality, you know? Boy, was I wrong, but whatever. So I texted him. I was like, hey, you new at blah, blah, blah school? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I have you for science class. I don't know how I found you. I think it was on Cake. It was weird. And he's like, yeah. So I got them together, but they never went out. They just messed around. Now, let's get back to this part. They stopped messing around a little bit, like for 2 months around there. They stopped messing around, and I was like, why would we text him? Like, he messed with your heart. And I mean, she started catching feelings, and I guess like he probably, I don't know what happened between them, but I know that they stopped messing around. So I was like, why would we ask him? But he was our last hope. I don't know why. Like, we could have texted someone else, but he was our last hope. Now, he said, I'll be there with a red van or whatever. My phone dies before I could tell him what part I was on, where I was. Like, all I told him was the casino and the place, right? So I was like, oh my god, it's 12 in the morning, my phone died, and the one hope we had. So we're like, you know what, we just gotta hope that he's gonna come for us, you know? I told him where I was, so let's see if he comes. And Alice was like, oh my gosh, she was just like getting dressed, not getting dressed because she couldn't get dressed, but like she was just like, because she had makeup in her bag, so she's like, oh my god, he's coming. I was like, seriously girl? And then so we were sitting on the stairs and we were just talking about him, how like she liked him, and like it wasn't just, I don't know, we were just talking about that stuff. She was giving me some deep feelings about him, and I was like, Well, let's hope he comes, right? So she was just telling me all that stuff, and then we see an hour later a red van. And guess who was in that red van? Like, don't even, it was Mike. So Mike comes and he's like, hi, do you guys need a ride? And we're like, he actually came through. I am stoked. So he gave us a ride to her place. Now he knows where she lives, and we're just in our place, you know, and like we're just like, he left already, you know. So me and her were in a room alone, and we were just talking about scary stuff and like the usual, you know. We were just eating hot Cheetos and talking about boys and scary stuff, and it was about like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and then I fall asleep because eventually I'm a weakling and I fall asleep. So I fell asleep and I hear noises, and I was like, what's going on? Like, her window, she could sneak out of a window, okay? So her apartment, her room is like this, and her windows are here, and she could sneak out. So I think she sneaked out, and I was like, where is she at? I was looking for everywhere for her, and it felt weird for me because I didn't live in that house, so I didn't want to be alone. So I went to her living room, and the TV was on. It was on Good Luck Charlie, I remember. And I was just watching Good Luck Charlie, and I was waiting for her, and she took forever. So then all of a sudden I hear a door, and I see her coming in. And I'm like, well, what happened? She's like, shh, come in the room with me. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, shh. I'm such a bad friend. So we ran into the room, and she told me that they sneaked out. I'm like, no surprise there. Who else are you going to sneak out with? So she told me that they were sending each other pictures, and they were talking on Snapchat. So this wasn't that long ago. It was on Snapchat. So it was like, what? Like 2 years ago? I don't know. So they were just talking to each other. And then all of a sudden, like, she told me that she walked out and she saw him in the stairs, and they watched the sunrise together or something like that. And they were just kissing and talking all night while I was sleeping in her room alone. I was so mad at her, but I wasn't that mad at her. So anyway, that's the story about how we got stranded and how we got saved by her friend Benefit. I hope you guys like the story. Please like, favorite, and subscribe, and share. And tell me if you like this style video. I don't know. But anyway, stick around and I'll tell more stories about me and Alice. We have so many crazy things going on. So, bye guys.